We bought some food that we might use on the horses to make them go faster. No, I didn't forget that.
Was that the poppers or the mushies?
I think
Oh,
it's
that's
the
the gem.
poppers.
The poppers are napalm.
Okay, no napalm the horses.
Oh, it's the mushies. Mushies make you go fast. We also got a gem of quickening. Oh, that's not
Somebody
speed
did.
quickening. That's a different kind of quickening.
Yeah, it's like absorbs ice and then pops into a ice familiar of some kind.
Gem of quickies. That's an entirely different thing.
Bought it just to see what would happen.
Yeah, I remember there was a bit of joint purchasing, so I don't remember who all got specifically what, but
I think I remember Connery got the wristbands, and I guess he's got the fungus.
The humongous fungus among us.
that's a lot of snow. Jeez.
Make snow angels. You could make so many snowmen with that.
Yeah,
I
I
think-
didn't get any snow, even though I wasn't in Florida this Christmas.
I like snow.
I think
think-
I've forgotten what it feels like.
maybe
I think that's more snow than we have gotten in probably like a decade.
damn you, global warming. Oh, I think Mitty has the gem of quickening.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was some ice thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think was Finale the one that had the dagger?
I think I went in on it, or I went in on something, but I didn't keep it.
Does Mitch have the dagger?
Was that the dagger of like opening things?
Yeah, it's a dagger that breaks enchantments.
Yeah, I didn't buy anything, so mostly because I had no money.
Oh no, I do have it. Yeah, the dagger of disabling.
Hmm.
Yeah, okay. So I guess I did keep that.
And then someone has the wristbands also.
Connery's got the wristbands.
All right, he's stocked up.
Yeah.
So yes, you guys did quite a bit of shopping. You also purchased where all of Misha's money went. You purchased warding sigils to take you guys through the Foglands without losing your memories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, spend money to make money, and boy, did we spend money.
But after you guys were heading back from all that shopping, you did run into a spot of trouble.
Just a wee spot.
Ran into two hunters who
Not a
specifically
three.
wanted Connery. Even though
Oh no,
it's
it was
two
two.
of them.
And then they're lackeys.
Yep.
Burnt one to a crisp.
And we beat one. Well, I should say, Drew beat one to, or yeah, Drew beat one into, yeah, Drew beat one to submission for a while, and then got into a fist fight with a dwarf, who used a chainsaw on him twice. And in retaliation, he broke his chainsaw.
That I did.
Connery
Two
completely
vicious.
incinerated one of them and a whole bunch of those salamanders too.
Yeah, we definitely did not melt anyone.
Yeah,
That didn't
to
He
happen.
only
Mish's
melted
eternal,
one.
to Mish's eternal sadness, because she wanted to keep that. But hey,
It's-
she'll make do with the other weapon that that she took,
Man,
that she picked up. She didn't steal it. And then we find out the whole reason we're in this mess is because of Connery's ex.
Connery has trouble keeping it in his pants, apparently.
No, apparently
This
Connery
news
bit
Connery-
somebody.
This is all news to Connery.
Everything's news to Connery.
not wrong. When you have no memory, that is accurate.
Yes, I think that is about where we left off with the femme fatale herself appearing in the middle of the street and announcing
She-
herself.
She was a half harpy, right?
Yes, she is. I think they're colloquially called as the Gria.
Right, right.
Right. So, standing in the middle of what usually would be one of the busiest streets in Defiance, you're in this weird island of calm where other passersby seemingly got the memo and are not going down this part of the street. Um, surrounded by your former adversaries, beaten, some of them burnt. You are staring down a couple of fresh thug reinforcements and Vanessa herself, who seems to just be coolly eyeing the allotment of people you have here with you, Conry, before she will say, "Well, I wanted to give your friends a distraction while we handled this like grown-ups, but if you want to do it all in front of the room, then why not?"
Excuse me? Do what in front of the room? Because, there's some things I'm not too keen on doing in front of people.
Well, I hope talking isn't one of them, Conry.
And what is it that you want to talk about?
We'll get to that, don't worry. In the meantime, she just kind of looks out at the people you guys have beat up. Leave all of their things and follow me.
Okay, but why?
Why, yeah. Yeah, what he said. She said.
I mean, you literally can't. These two. She'll gesture to the. I think it was an elven woman and a dwarf.
It was a male dwarf and a human woman.
Yeah, she'll gesture. These two came at us with intent to kill. So
Why
that
should we
doesn't
blame?
necessarily paint you in a good light at the moment, especially when both of them name dropped you. You know.
They didn't come to kill you. I was...
The chainsaw says otherwise.
Well, please, I was briefed on your escort, little acolyte. I know what they're capable of. This was the caliber required to keep them busy for a few moments.
Only a few.
Like, Mish, like, puts both her hands together, like, both of her index fingers in front of her face, like, and her fingers entwined. Is like, I don't think you quite understand. They literally tried to murder. Like, they came with intent to murder here. That does not put you in the right.
She'll turn her head and her goons and look at the burnt corpses.
That was done in self-defense. This is all of us could literally claimed as self-defense.
And it wouldn't even be a claim, it's just true. It's just a matter of fact.
And as added evidence, we have that thing. And she points to the smoldering remains of the chainsaw blade.
You'll see her sigh and look like, okay, fine, we're doing this. She reaches into one of her back pants pockets and pulls out a little coaster-sized emblem. She holds it up, and Mish, you'll recognize it immediately as the symbol of the Huntmaster's abode. It's
What?
such a shame, Firekeeper Rain. I don't know how your acolyte got involved in this street scuffle between beastkin and hunters. I mean, letting such volatile elements into the city. What were the guards thinking?
we're really gonna play this game, you really want to take it there.
I really would like to have a talk with Conry. You're the one holding
For-
us up, sweet cheeks.
For what? What, does he owe you money? Did he hump someone's leg?
Hey!
You have done that, come on.
I have not!
At this point, Vinali will kind of step forward and raise his hand like a child in a classroom and says, "Excuse me, I have no idea what's going on."
That makes two of us.
And I'm assuming she is a hunt master by that emblem.
There is one hunt master. He is the head of the city. She works for him.
Long story short, she has the ear of the hunt master, aka the one who officially rules the city and its hunters. Jesus Christ, Connery, what did you get us into?
I don't know what's going on! Stop looking at me. I have the answers here.
You'll see taloned fingers sort of curl into little fists as she puts them on her hip and says, "The wolf boy you're harboring used to be a subordinate of mine, until he ran out on us, and I want to get to the bottom of why."
Good luck with that. Kid doesn't have any memory.
That's awfully convenient, and something that I can confirm with a long and thorough talk.
Aka interrogation.
Excuse me? I didn't do anything!
Mish will turn to Vinali. Well, I'm at a standstill. Like, despite, the nature of the hunters, the hunt master does have quite a bit of political pull here. So, I mean, yeah, the factor that she knows my mom, which is terrifying in and of itself.
You swear on your honor you're not leading us into another trap?
Oh, I give you my word, little half-elf man. This was not meant to be dangerous for you all. If you were anything that our men said you were, you would have made short work of a few of these thugs, and you did.
They hit me with a chainsaw.
I have it on good authority you've taken worse.
But he'll open his mouth. Yeah, fair enough.
We did once have to defrost you.
That's fair.
I mean, by my calculations, you all are foolhardy enough to take a venture out into the Foglands, stocking up on a small army's worth of magic goods from the old sheath.
Okay. Stalker. A bit uncomfortable, not gonna lie.
What, you don't like souvenirs when you go to a new place?
All I'm saying is, we're really gonna let a couple hunters come between old friends.
This is how you treat your friends. I really don't want to see how you treat your enemy.
Not well. But okay, you know what? Connery,
What?
you swear you don't know who this is?
I don't know what else you want me to say. I don't know what's going on. I don't know any of these people.
And Mitch will just like start thinking, so Vanessa, was it?
Yes, are we doing this out on the street?
No, let's find a cleaner place to talk. Come on, I know a place.
No. She'll just sort of beckon with a talon and start walking the other way.
It's a neutral ground.
I don't think she's gonna give us a choice.
Hunters.
Let's just go get this over with.
Yep. I
As
swear if she slaps a collar on you, I'm not bailing you.
What? If anybody comes near me with a collar, they're losing a hand.
I know she said leave the things behind, but let's take the chainsaw and the shield. I think we own those today.
No, Mish took the shield combo thing, and she kept it with her. Though the chainsaw is just, you said, is broken beyond repair, right?
Midi
Yeah.
smash.
it was pretty smashed, yeah.
Is any part of it salvageable, given Mish's obsession with Magitech?
It's scrap heap bound, probably. It's how should I say this? It will be used more than likely by melting it down back into raw material.
We do know a guy who would want that, though.
I know a
Yeah,
guy.
we do. Oh well. Oh well.
So you are
Yeah,
trying
and if they
to.
complain, street rules. Yeah, so Mish has already taken the shield thing, and I'm assuming the rest of them are gonna pick up the remains of the chainsaw.
Okay, so as you will start to pick those things up, then she'll look back over her shoulder and sort of glare at you.
You hired them. If you want to pay them back for their losses, you're welcome to it.
Or I could send the lot of you to the moot for theft.
Winner takes all, kid. Winner takes all.
For once, I have not touched anything. I just want to make that clear.
This is all your fault, Cal.
Okay.
I'd like to ask how, but okay.
No, appealing to your better sense, is there?
You hired thugs to quote unquote keep us busy. I don't think moral high grounding it here is the right play.
She'll shrug her shoulders. You'll see the rather, like I said, large and almost majestic set of wings bobbing as she does so. She'll say, "Suit yourselves."
You know what, Mish? Set the shield down.
Why?
Just trust me.
If you break it, I swear.
Can I break it?
And no, I wanted this thing. And she puts the shield on the ground and fastens it.
And I will summon a spiritual weapon to break it.
You son of a... No!
I wanted to do that.
Just make a straight charisma check for me, Benali.
Oof. No luck.
So, your friend Midi has first-hand experience to how durable this piece of equipment actually can be. I mean, it survived a bear attack.
When bears attack.
Bear attacks.
So, you do summon your magic weapon, and it does smash into the shield, and it sends it dead to the ground. It wasn't deployed, so like it does clatter, but we were expecting like pretty good dent. Actually, the surface of it seems pristine.
Fish will immediately pick it up and check on, like, no!
Well, if we're not allowed to keep it, then we may as well send a message.
And Mish just like hugs onto it. But I want it.
You already have a toy. You don't need two.
And she still clutches onto it. It's cool though.
We'll get you a toy from the next set of corpses she sends our way.
No, seriously, do you know how much these are? These are freaking expensive. But as she's talking, Mish is gonna look over down at the weapon. Are there any modules like she could take from it?
They're not quite that plug and play, if that makes sense.
They're not chips that you can just swap in and out.
Yeah.
Can you take out the materia and put it in your weapon?
That's basically like if there are any augments to it that she could pull.
You would know. Oh, make me just a straight intelligence check.
Okay.
It's a very mushroom-looking mushroom.
Intelligence check.
Okay, you are a bit of a Magitech nut.
Nut.
Actually, because of that, 1 second.
Is Mish
What?
our Sid Highwind?
I hope not.
Do you really trust me to be that? You shouldn't.
I don't want to fly in any ship that Misha's made.
What? It sounds like it's gonna immediately catch fire and explode. No, nothing like that.
Oh, nah, damn it. I forgot the vault deleted the page I had on her initially, so I don't remember. I don't have the model name for the weapon.
Oof.
But you would know, Mish. You probably have seen this model of shield before. The what's the word for it? Like bracing into the ground, the stake driver part of it is not standard. That's probably custom, and it's probably reinforced beyond the standard durability. So it's a really good piece of equipment, but
It's built to last, basically.
Durable last.
This is not and you'd gather from also Dasney as well. These two were not like fresh off the train hunters who just got picked up in this. They'd been working in the city for a while. They probably have a bit of prestige.
All right. Like, so looking over, like, yeah, you look, Vanali. If Mitty couldn't break this thing, you're not breaking it.
I can't do what now?
You've tried breaking this thing.
All right, I'm gonna rip it from her arms
No,
and
no, no,
break
no,
it.
no, 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 no.
I've been provoked. There's a saying: "Don't poke the bear," and you went and poke the bear.
No, no.
Okay. I like to imagine Vanessa is still just like tapping her fingernails, watching all of this, waiting for us.
And meanwhile, like, all the while, Mish is
They
like
don't
saying,
take me
"No,
seriously. They're not taking me serious.
no,
Connor's
don't break
sitting
it.
off to the
Don't
side,
break
rubbing his
it."
temples tiredly,
Uh,
just waiting for this to be over.
Do you want me to roll some?
Well, so I will say, those of you that like a finale, if you do deign to look, Vanessa seems casual. She seems like she's just waiting for you guys to start moving, but beneath that veneer of disinterest, her eyes aren't leaving Connery.
Oof.
But I need Richter and our mission Mitty to make contested athletics checks.
Oh, no.
This is to disarm it from her.
Am I still raging?
I wouldn't assume so. It's been enough of the time.
Okay.
It's not hard to beat.
Athletics.
Oh, roll 20, man.
Yep.
Wow.
But even if it is a technicality, narratively, yes, Mitty, you do walk over and just sort of rip it out of her hands.
And all the women's like, no, don't.
God, my strength is garbage.
You have a 5 in. Wait, you have.
You
what's
have
your
the
strength?
same, both of you have the same, near enough the same score.
What? That doesn't sound right.
I had bad rolls, so. Unfortunately, in order to get my con as high as I did, I needed to sacrifice strength.
So what are you doing with the shield, Mitty?
I'm going to try and smash it like the previous chainsaw.
Okay, make another athletics check.
Okay. Good enough.
Okay, just because of how durable this thing is, you don't smash it to pieces, but over the course of a few almost cathartic thuds, you do reduce it to like crinkled tinfoil.
And Mish is on her knees, like, no.
Like I said, don't provoke the bear.
No, I can salvage this. I can salvage this.
Frisbee toss it away then.
Just goes flying over buildings into the distance.
Mish is now sad.
Are we done with the theater now?
Oh yeah, I forgot you were there.
Manali will just pat Mish on the shoulder and say, "And now these two hunters will know not to fuck with us, and they'll probably spread the word."
Or they'll be stupid and try and fuck with us further. I hope it's the latter.
As you guys start to follow Vanessa and a couple of her hired hands that sort of keep a flank on you guys, you'll hear her just kind of tut under her breath and say, "Glad they owed us quite a lot of money."
The entire walk there, Connery's just kind of got his head in his hands, trying to think and remember things, and it's not coming up. He's just so confused.
So you all move through the crowded streets of the quarter corridor for another few minutes, but not very far, before you are led off the main thoroughfare into the dense overhang of multiple wooden storefronts that are sort of leaning out from the side of this tunnel, competing for the space. And Vanessa leads you through a couple of back alleyways between them. The area you're in is surrounded on all four sides by the surrounding overhanging buildings. It is a tight corridor. It's barely more than 5 feet tall. So people like Mitty and even Vanessa herself, you see her having to hunch down. It smells like urine and stale liquor, and you swear, although he's not present, there could very well be a homeless man sleeping in this little nook. But as she walks up to a door in this rancid alley, she'll tap her taloned knuckles against the doorway, which opens up, and she'll lead you inside into a shockingly spacious and well organized warehouse.
Does it smell in here too?
What was that?
Does it smell in here too?
It does smell, but it's not dirt. It smells like just earlier today, Cal bought some black powder. It smells a lot like that.
Gunpowder? Fireworks.
I sense treason and some plots.
Remember.
Someday in December.
But
Carly's
you,
got his face covered with a scarf. Hates smells.
but you all are invited into the warehouse. You see a couple of the thugs are sort of milling about, almost taking inventory, but more kind of just keeping watch on things. Mish, you see a familiar goblin sitting on top of one of the crates, eyeing you. It's the vendor that sold you shrimp the other day.
Hey. Oh, I didn't know you were a hunter.
The goblin lets out a little.
Okay. Good talk.
So, once you all settle in, Vanessa will turn back to Connery and say, "Are we hashing this out in front of your friends, or do I have
Well, I'm not going anywhere with you alone, tell you that.
I guess what the kid says.
What?
I said, I guess what the kid says.
Okay, trust and mutual respect. Glad to see those are maintained."
What?
So
We weren't lying when we said he doesn't remember anything.
Yeah, considering where we found him.
she'll see Vanessa scooch up, and with a creak of wood, she'll plop down on one of the waist-high crates, sort of pull herself up on it, put her chin in her palm, and say, "Okay, tell me the story then."
Do you want the short version or the long?
I mean, is there really much to tell? Found him in pandemonium. That's about it.
Okay. Do you
I
get
mean, that is the
something
short
out of...
version of events.
That is really the only version.
Yeah. No, literally. So, Mish will end up summarizing the events of the last arc, which included them going to hell, fighting their way through, finding him, and then deciding, you know what, we're taking you with us. Though it's weird that you don't remember anything. And then how he's been with us ever since.
He seemed harmless and he was good enough fight. It was a good find.
Especially given
You just
where
said
we
it was
are.
a good find.
Yeah?
Okay.
Is that a wrong assessment?
Kind of makes me sound like an object you just picked up off the floor.
I mean, he did kind of actually pick you up off the floor. It's just that in this case, the floor was upside down.
And then another
She-
place?
And fleshy.
Connery just kind of buries his face in his hands.
Okay. I'm not going to try and suss out exactly what all of you were doing to be involved in something like that. How do you propose that Connery got into hell?
Not a single fucking clue.
Let alone how he survived down there before we found him. That is mind-boggling.
My only guess from, my point of from the church's stance would be either he was thrown in there by someone, or he tripped and fell in. Because yes, there are portals in and out of the place.
I can't
Sure.
believe him taking a step and falling down.
I'm aware there are rifts, little acolyte. That's why the Huntmaster patronizes your order as much as he does. You take care of things like that for us.
Hmm. So, my only question now is, who was he last traveling with? Maybe they could shed some light on this. Like, was he part of any other hunting crew? Was he part of a band, like a hunter's band?
No. I have no idea where Conry was immediately before he. Wherever you claim you found him. But when I knew him, he was a thug. The same as the people you beat up before. He worked for me.
Hey, that's not nice. He's more useful in a fight.
A what?
Said you're more useful in a fight than they are.
Well, thank you. I did kind of wipe the floor with some of them.
He
And
was.
you'll have to I'm sorry, but you'll have to forgive me if you're calling him a thug. He doesn't act like one.
He acted about the same as he seems to be acting now. He was a rather sweet little puppy.
No, you stupid thing! Get
What?
in there!
Is the hamster doing it?
He turned around and he's climbing to the top of his cage.
From the top row!
This is like a 3-foot tall cage and he's climbing it like a ladder.
People's elbow.
The people's hamster!
Sorry. He keeps falling down and I don't want him to hurt himself. We can continue, I'm sorry about that.
You're fine. She'll say something along the lines of, he was always this free-spirited and simple, but
What?
point him at a problem, and he could take care of it for you.
Oh yeah, that sounds like him.
Okay, yeah, that makes more
Excuse
sense. What? That's a
Simple?
compliment. It's a compliment in this sort of way, I suppose.
What is complimenting about being simple?
As in, you follow orders, you know exactly what to do at any given situation, and you have a cool head. See, those are
And you're good at
compliments.
hunting.
I'm
And
sorry.
I would love to live in your head.
Not just he called you slow.
All that, and you gave a burgeoning crime boss quite a bit of confidence by being so easy to boss around.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's news to me.
As I was saying, he worked for me for quite a number of years, actually. I don't know where you were from. She'll reference to you, Mish. You'll understand, us half-breeds don't typically share a lot of our early years. It's a sensitive subject for most, so I never asked.
Fair. Don't ask, don't tell. I get it.
I picked him up out of a caravan and worked for me for quite a while. Or a good little trick to keep in my back pocket, so to speak.
Hmm.
Connor's
Okay.
very uncomfortable with the way she's talking about him right now.
Okay.
And a few years ago, he walked out. Said he had places better to be, and he'd found some new friends that had given him something to. What was it? You wanted to do bigger and greater things than knock heads around.
And that's a problem?
Well, I think he mission accomplished. He was in Pandemonium and survived that.
Hmm.
It's pretty big and great.
Did you run off with cultists, Connery?
No, I hope not.
Oh, that would be very like you.
And at that point, Mish is now very suspicious. Excuse me?
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
What is
Sorry.
this about cultists?
Calm down there, Freda.
Oh, he's just very trusting. If someone nefarious sweet talked him into joining them, and then they sacrificed him to a demon portal, that would be a fitting fate for Conry.
Wow.
Conry, are you a third imposter?
What? What does that mean?
Oh my god.
What I don't understand is why you don't remember anything. Or at least that you claim not to.
Your guess is as good as mine here.
That's the
If I knew why I forgot things, I wouldn't have forgotten them.
Well,
It's
there's
a
many
million-dollar
reasons
question
why
at this
someone
point.
could lose their memory, but one of them is not very far to our south.
Hmm.
So not only did he get tossed into a demonic rift, but he got dragged into the Foglands without protection.
Possibly, it's just a thought.
Or he took a wicked blow to the head.
Or whatever he experienced was so traumatic that he blocked it out.
Was I traumatic, Conry?
You're traumatizing me right now.
Oh, don't worry, you'll just blot it out later, I guess.
I would love to blot you out of my memory.
I feel like we've stopped having a productive conversation at this point.
We were having a productive conversation.
You're getting
I
to
mean,
see
we
a
were.
very annoyed Conry right now.
No, I mean, we were sort of piecing together where Connery came from. At least now we have some clues. But,
He was a refugee in the caravans, like so many other half-breeds. He was just useful, unlike most of them.
Yeah, we're not getting much.
Conry's like, he's got it. He's like pinching the bridge of his nose and just muttering to himself about how fucking it is right now. He's so over this, and it's only been like 10 minutes.
right. So, anyways, now that we're here, what is it that you wanted with Connery here?
Well, I wanted to know why he ran out on me. Because if it was some sort of...
Well, it sounds like you had your explanation.
Connery, let her finish.
Mitty's going to pull out some rations from his pack and toss it to Conry. Conry, chew on that. Adults are speaking right now.
Oh my god. Conry's about to get up and storm out. Throws the pitch rations back at you.
Hey, it's not nice to waste food.
You'll see her face kind of soften, and she is legitimately, like, kind of failing to... How do I say this? She's trying to laugh daintily, but she's failing.
Like she's enjoying this.
She is genuinely enjoying it, but you see her eyes
He's
soften
about
a
to
little
bust a
bit.
gut.
Yeah, and she'll say, I'm just glad that I didn't have to add you to the bad book, Conry.
The what?
Would Mish have an inkling of what that is?
I think we all have an inkling of what that is.
Mitty's got no fucking clue.
It's nothing good, I'll tell you that.
Okay. Works for the Huntmaster. Has a secret warehouse with things in it. Admitted to being a crime boss. You don't cross the mafia.
Leave the gun, take the cannoli.
Oh my god.
I really had no idea. You didn't give really much of a explanation when you left. It just said something about you'd met another what did you call it? Heritor?
Conrad will lift his head up and stare at her for a second.
I don't
And
know
then
if
he'll-
it was. I'm sorry.
And he'll be like, "What did you say?"
Inheritor? I don't know. I assumed it was some other group you'd thrown your lot in with.
Conrad will kind of just like look very thoughtful, and then sort of like he's not listening anymore because he's too busy thinking.
Well, if he's harmless, he's harmless, and that's good enough for me. I got worried when he suddenly came back into the city with hired thugs.
Hired thug.
Excuse me.
I think we've proven to be higher than that now.
Well, you can handle a couple of hunters, and if I believe everything you've said, then the trip into Pandemonium. Out of curiosity, and now she's looking at you, Mitty.
Hmm.
What's the angle with the good knight Lyseer?
Oh, you mean the weird guy that was really happy to see Zoan?
Is
And
the
who's
good
getting to buddy with Sister Ira. Hang on, I'm pulling that up.
the firekeeper?
Yeah, the one getting a little too buddy with Firekeeper Irain.
Well, sure. I mean, the good knight's been busting at the seams for months trying to get how do you say it? To thank a proper tribesman. He even tried to come on to me, but I had to tell him I was a half-breed.
Oh, he was looking for a proper tribesman. He unfortunately still hasn't found one though.
Well, forgive me, but the fact that you come right in the height of him wanting to speak to one, and, well, your interest in the more neglected parts of the Temple Ward were not unnoticed.
Oh, you mean the yeah, I was surprised to see that there were shrines dedicated to the seasons. Though I did notice that there wasn't one for winter, so I decided to add one myself.
I don't practice the old ways myself, so I'll only assume that others will take offense to that. But I meant more of the Forgotten Monument.
Oh. Oh, yeah, I was wondering why Mom didn't have a shrine.
Well, the Senians have been scouring the Foglands looking for any hint or rumor of where to find the Enchained, and given your interest and nature, I assumed you were buttering the night up for something.
Oh. I had no idea.
Did she have any reaction to him calling her mom?
What?
Not
Mitty,
her
you're
mom,
saying?
but yeah.
Make an insight check.
Oof. Not rolling well tonight.
She inclined her head when he said that as if, oh, okay. But she took note of it, but you don't really read anything more than that.
Okay.
You know, I thought he was just curious about. Thought it was just his first time seeing one. Normally, people see me and either try and stab me with something sharp or run away screaming. That's the general hairless reaction.
I'm sure the knight's intentions with you were pure. I was assuming the other way round was untrue.
Oh, think I had any impure intentions. I just figured, I don't know.
Fair enough. Misunderstanding, but you must admit the alignment of such niche interests is curious.
Maybe we'll just shrug. Coincidence. I guess really coming here or staying here for this long wasn't really the plan.
Well, I suppose if there's nothing else I can do for you, nothing else you can do for me.
Are we about to be invited to get the fuck out?
Unless you have a proposition otherwise.
Invitation accepted, and Connery will just stand up and start walking towards the door.
So next time a letter will suffice.
So as you guys, is Connery started to leave? Is anyone sort of sticking back?
I can stay with him if he seems like he wants me to.
With Connery?
Yeah.
Connery just wants to get away from Vanessa.
Okay.
So if you want to stick with him, he wouldn't, tell you no.
Okay.
Point being, those who were last to leave would see her kind of look out at Connery as he beelines it to the door, and she kind of looks sad about it.
It's like Mish will actually stay behind.
Yeah, Finale intended to as well.
Yeah, Mitty will too. He's looking to get maybe some reimbursement for the damage he took.
Okay, so as the three of you stay, she'll just sort of quirk an eyebrow.
Mish will speak up. So, I may be speaking out of line, but you genuinely cared for him, didn't you? Or don't you, I should say.
Not in the way that you're expecting, but I am glad to see him again.
And you don't work with someone for that many years and not care about their well-being to some extent.
Yeah.
Well, if you really did find him in the pit of one of the hells, then I guess you're better equipped than my goons to keep an eye on him, so...
Speaking of your goons, he'll point to the gash left open by the chainsaw. Kind of did a number on me. You wouldn't happen to have something for this, would you?
Aren't you a little old to ask a woman to kiss it and make it better?
No. He's gonna blush.
I don't think I've ever seen him blush before.
Yeah, this is a first.
Can you see it under his fur?
Quiet, both of you.
Listen, I don't think Connery seems all that willing to want to work with you ever again, but
Well,
having
it's not
someone
that...
who's unashamed of openly admitting to being a crime boss, if there's any business we might be able to conduct with each other quietly, you know how to reach out to us.
More thugs?
She'll kind of shrug a bit at the accusation and just say, this is Defiant, sweetie. We don't really mince words over who's doing something the right way or the wrong way, as long as it gets done. But yes, I will keep you in mind, although I'll be honest, I'm not sure exactly what work I have for demon slayers.
I'm sure the hiring of Mish the Soul Devourer would do well for your reputation.
What? Wait, what?
She is a local legend.
What? Excuse me?
Vanessa will kind of giggle to herself before she'll seemingly remember something and say, "You were asking after Sky Iron, weren't you, little one?"
Out of character, what?
You were told by Gedris that he would need a shipment of Sky Iron if he were to make you anything Magitech.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And then Mish blinking like, yeah, I am.
Let me know if you ever do plan to go pursue that. The stall and shipments from Old Irons has been, well, I mean, even Balemore's been upset by it.
Hmm. I will keep that in mind.
Where does the Skyrim even come from?
I haven't the foggiest of the actual forging techniques, but it's made in the Iron Foundry.
Maybe we'll look to Vanali. Where's that?
Would I know?
Yeah, one second. If you look at the Worm's Ravel, east of Twain, there is an island in the middle of where the river becomes a lake. That entire island is home to Old Irons. It is where most of the high risk / magical metallurgy is done in the continent. You would. You've spent a lot of time in Twain.
Most of my growing up was there, aside from a few early childhood years.
Okay, you would know why the location is so weirdly remote and why certain things like Sky Iron are only produced there is because of their unique capabilities. The forge works off of the backs of the only imprisoned dragon in the world.
I would give the short version of that to Mitty.
Damn. Let's see why it's so loaded after.
Well, given we saw a dragon passing in that direction when we made our way down here, I wonder if there's some connection between that and the stopped shipments.
Probably.
The maintenance and running of the foundry is within Twain's purview, so they would know what the issue is, and their refusal to share is causing the old man's hairs to go grayer.
Well, once we take care of our business in the Foglands, perhaps Twain should be our next stop.
Is that on the way?
No, it's on the completely different direction.
No, I meant to our actual destination.
Well, if we
No.
intend to take the train, then yes, but
You'll see her ears kind of perk up. Where is your actual intended destination?
That is a church business. Unfortunately.
All smiles will say, I'm sure it's dreadfully boring then.
And Mish won't rise to the bait. Like, she'll just clam up at that point.
Well, I will see you around, so don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Well, pleasure. And Mish will get up and follow Connery and
Cal.
and Cal's character.
why do you have such a hard time remembering Cal's name?
I don't know.
You live in California.
Shut up.
It's like it should be the easiest name for you to remember. Just erase the California.
That can be
Yeah.
your mnemonic for it.
Ugh.
Cal without the California.
But yeah, so she'll just head over to where Connery and Cal are.
California.
I thought I said where Connery and Cal are.
Mm-hmm.
That rainbow post in the chat.
Oh my god.
Alright, so what are Wolf Boy and Elf Boy doing?
I don't know. Connery just wanted to get away, get out of the situation, so kind of just walked off in a random direction.
Found the nearest bar.
No, he just needs some air. Not that the air in Defiance is all that nice to breathe.
No, it's not.
You're very easily able to get out of the piss-smelling alley and get back into the main thoroughfare with Cal right behind you. You'll notice in the about 10 or no, telling your story, it's probably been closer to 20-30 minutes that you've been in the warehouse. Traffic has picked back up, so the street is back to being thoroughly traveled. So you're surrounded by the noise of other citizens doing their day to day.
That's not ideal. That's definitely a lot of stuff going on. How stressed he is. Probably needs to find somewhere quiet.
Okay,
He
it's
doesn't know
not
this place, so.
okay. You two could both of you roll an investigation check for me.
Where's my thingy? Where's my thingy? Oh, thank God.
Okay, so Connery, you'll notice Cal is very out of it. It seems this afternoon of reveals has given him much to think about because he very nearly walks into an oncoming carriage. But you were able to pull him off the side of the road, and after a bit of looking around, fairly quickly find a much quieter storefront. Looks like one of surprisingly many smoke shops that Defiance has. It seems like a popular commodity here, and there is there are some freestanding like rocking chairs out front that seem to be set for people to sit and smoke right out facing the street, but it's quieter under the awning, and you guys just pull up some chairs.
Oh, so it's a Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, it's a Cracker Barrel for smokers
With
to
weed.
smoke out into the street.
Excellent.
because Defiance is fucking dirty.
But they don't allow smoke inside, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
smoke
public
inside
health.
is only
Whereas
for
they
degenerates.
get cleaner in this
No
place.
smoking indoors, but outside is smog central.
You gotta think of the kids.
Connery's just gonna like collapse into one of those chairs and bury his face in his hands.
And Cal will sit down next to him and pull him and his chair over so they're sitting next to each other. So, do you remember anything, or you just want to hang out?
I just needed to get away from that. Did Connery remember anything? Did that trigger any kind of...
No,
No?
not
Okay,
really. No.
So yeah, so he's just kind of like... hated every bit of that. Doesn't like being reminded that he doesn't know this.
Well, I'm sorry that you had to deal with her. She seems... Hopefully she was better to you in a previous life than she was just now.
If she was, I don't know, but... Here. Connery needs a fucking smoke.
I mean, we can do that.
Is there something
Fantasy
that...
weed! Fantasy weed!
Fantasy weed! Is there something
Fantasy
that
weed!
he can wave down for a puff?
Or do one of us have to go in and get something?
You have to go in, but it's fairly easy to acquire. They have more traditional tobaccos and other sort of. And here's where Rin reveals he doesn't smoke.
Tobaccos and opiums and all sorts of.
Different additives and things like that. But yeah, they have fantasy weed too.
I don't think Connery wants fantasy weed. I think this is some good old fashioned Tabasco.
Yeah, honestly.
Just chug some Tabasco.
Just Connery's acting drunk with a big old glass of Tabasco.
Isn't that what they did in animes? When they would bring them over to the US, they would like change
It's like
alcohol
apple
into,
juice.
like hot sauce.
Oh,
My
I think
favorite
they did
is
that with some of them.
Sanji's from One Piece's cigarette being a lollipop.
oh yeah, he's a
Yeah.
sucker fanatic.
Yeah, and they
Thanks
actually
for it.
changed some of the dubbing. Yeah.
Connery's gonna get up and he's gonna look at Cal and ask if...
Ask what?
Huh?
What?
Connery's gonna stand up and look at Cal and ask if he wants something, like a smoke or something.
Yeah, I'll go in with you.
Alright. You're gonna go inside and go up to the counter or whatever.
Peruse their
peruse their wares.
splendiferous wares that we have no tobacco knowledge to converse with.
Yeah, there is a fairly greasy and somehow also dry looking halfling that is manning the counter.
Oh god.
If a person could look smoked, he looks smoked.
Oh my god.
But he'll happily sell you both a measure of tobacco product for silvers on the. It's not very expensive. Although you guys did spend most of your money today.
It looks like, and I don't know if this is accurate because I don't remember, but it looks like I have 250 gold pieces.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's a couple silver for you each, but you both obtain the smoke product.
How much gold is that so I can adjust it? No, what the conversions are.
It's 10 silvers a gold.
I'll cover it. I'll just mark myself down for 1 gold. Call it good.
Thank you. I just had this funny idea. Could Conry use fire punch to light it?
Sure.
I don't think he would. That would be a bad idea, but I'm just thinking about it.
You light it, but like you burn half of it off doing so.
You ever got so upset you just wanted to punch a cigarette to make it light?
Every day of my life.
So yeah, I guess Conry and Cal are just sitting on a couple of rocking chairs, trying to relax.
I mean, it's actually not terribly bad of an experience. Say what you will about Defiance, like they do manage to create pockets of leisure here. You get the impression that dragon hunters kind of rely on that to break up the risking of their life day to day. So eventually when the other members of your party will, after looking around a bit, find you, you two will find, or they will find you two smoking in the smoker's lounge.
They're smoking in the boys' room.
Call the principal.
So, feeling better?
Conry's gonna think for a minute and then just kind of give a half shrug.
Not good, just better.
I guess.
We're working on it.
So, in the middle of this crowded place, there's sitting a bear that is covered in blood with matted fur.
Oh, he needs a bed.
I don't know why I'm still conscious at this point, but
Well, you guys did have accommodations, and I mean, worst comes to worst, you could always go back to the temple that Mish was from, but taking some time to clean up, relax, do some first aid. It doesn't take you guys too long, but are there any other conversations or things you guys would like to have, or are you guys gonna just take the night in the city still, or?
Conry's not feeling particularly talkative. It's unusual for him. But he's had a long day.
Well, I guess I should ask, do you guys want to just get cleaned up and head out that evening, or are you going to take another day in Defiance?
Mitty would like another day.
I am also magically tapped. It would be wise not to charge out into the wilderness with us already so expended.
Yeah, I'm at like half health, so.
That, and if you guys remember, Mish's mother, Elaine did want to have dinner with you guys.
Already bringing us home to meet with the parents.
I mean, she wanted to meet you, so.
Alright, so is it another dinner at the cathedral?
Sounds like it.
Okay, I'm going to assume Mitty goes after he cleans up.
I would hope so.
also need to make sure that Cal and Connery don't smell like smoke. If Mom found out we were smoking, we'd be in big trouble.
The
Are we not
the entire interior of the cathedral smells like smoke.
Excellent.
Yeah, not wrong.
Honestly, the entire town kind of smells like garbage, so how would you know?
I mean, you're not
Your
wrong.
nose gets kind of attuned to it after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I mentioned before in a description, but you would know, Mish. They don't just chuck firewood, like normal firewood, onto the ceremonial brazier. Like they do use treated like incense and oil infused things. So generally, it smells pretty nice. It's like a really good campfire type scent,
Mm.
but it still smells like burning inside the cathedral.
At least it's more pleasant burning.
Mm-hmm. But so you guys get cleaned up, go and have a dinner with the firekeeper. We could roleplay that out if you guys want to, or if not, I'm fine either way.
Feel
I
like
mean,
it would be hilarious for one of us to mention that we had been to Pandemonium and back. Drop that bombshell.
Probably Mitty. He's blunt as a hammer.
Well, as far as Iraine is concerned, she has put a stop to your ideas of going out to the Foglands, Mish, and
yeah.
she'll make mention as much of having spoken to the Purifier. So he is conspicuously absent from your evening, however.
So he's sleeping on the couch then? She'll have a couch.
Miss, should we ask about Vanessa?
I mean, I wouldn't.
Well, she seemed to know your mother.
I mean, it's probably a new development. And I'm actually genuinely curious myself. So, why not?
Mish, it's your mother. Feel free to ask.
So then they're at dinner, and Mish will just ask, like, so out of curiosity, who is, like, do you know, what's the half harpy race called?
Vanessa.
Gria.
Do you know, like, a Grian named, Vanessa?
The Firekeeper will think for a minute, not instantly jump to a name, but after thinking, I believe there is a half beast that works at Balemore. I haven't met her personally. Has she caused any trouble for you?
Well, not for any of us specifically, but, well, Then she just looks at it over in Connery's direction.
Connery's just kind of staring down at this dude so he doesn't notice.
I believe she does some work with the Merchants Guild, supply chains. Haven't really had much cause to meet with her officially, business-wise anyway. The Huntmaster seems to like her, though, and I can't deny that a lot of the hunters enjoy the eye candy.
It's just... No, other than that, we had like a small altercation with her. She apparently she seemed to know someone from our little band, and it was an interesting afternoon to say in the least.
Well, if there's if you want me to bring anything to the Huntmaster's attention, I can, but you see her look a little uncertain over, what to her, what business would this official have with any of you? You feel me?
Yeah, and like she's had time to just like spill the story of how we found Connery in the first place.
Don't.
What?
So Connor just kind of looks up and stares at Mish, like, don't, and shakes his head.
Yeah,
Don't.
okay. And Mish just doesn't say anything. Like, let's just say, like, she had some, I want to say, harsh words for our friend over here. It seems something between them, I don't know.
What the?
What? It's not like she said it was specific.
Well, I apologize, Connery, if the Huntmaster's aid has caused you any distress. I'm sure it must just be something with the tribes. I'm half beasts, right?
Mish will just, like, cough into her hand. Yeah.
Connor kind of stare off into the distance.
Anyways, so still, it was nice having dinner with you. I guess we're just gonna call it early tonight, guys. What do you guys think?
Connery just stands up immediately and he goes, "Yep, dinner was great. Thank you." And then he's just doing a lot of running away from things tonight.
Cal will stand and thank them for dinner too, and not quite as early, Scoot, but definitely is keeping an eye on Connery. Plus he's tired.
Yeah, Mish is just getting a full meal in.
Maybe he will eat until the sleep kicks in.
Oh my god.
Sleep at the table, just like face plants in his food.
So as Finale and Mish try and help Mitty out of the chair, she'll just sort of Rain will sort of just shake her head and say, "You never know where that sort came from before they came here, but if Balemore trusts her, I'm sure she meant no harm, Mish."
Meanwhile, Mitty is still like half carved up from the fucking chainsaw sent his way.
Oh, and
That's how
actually,
did he die?
before we go, can we get some medical attention for him, please?
Why didn't we bring this to her attention sooner? We ate an entire meal before bringing up his wounds.
Well, actually, I
Well,
feel
I
like
mean, that's
Mish would've-
fairly in line with MIDI, honestly.
Yeah.
Name a time when Mitty isn't wounded. Go ahead, name one.
And name a time where you wouldn't prefer to eat before receiving medical attention.
Okay, yeah, with with asking, Mitty can receive some healing from Leon staff clerics. They'll put you right as Rain. Rain, sorry, that rhymed. Rain will say after the fact a matter of, "Oh, I thought he just always looked like that."
No, the thing is, he's a interesting character in a sense. He'd rather take them. He'd rather, you know, I don't know how to put this.
Well, I'm sure everything is gonna work out for the best. How much longer are you going to stay in Defiance?
Probably if we planned on leaving tonight. We were told that there was a problem with the shipments of Sky Iron, so we're probably gonna take a peek up there, wondering what's going on.
Well, I had not heard, but it's not surprising given that that's not really within our wheelhouse. But I'm sure the people would like to know. I hope you have safe travels. Are you taking the train?
We don't have money for the train. That's a bit out of our price range, so, you know, walking never killed anyone.
Huh. I would have assumed that they were better off. I didn't know you were carrying around some destitute friends.
And Mish says nothing because she's the destitute one in the. Like, yeah. But, yeah, so we're just gonna call it easy. It was nice having dinner with you again. And, I'll check in with you when we get back.
Well, take care, Mish. I hope things work out with you and your friends.
Thank you. And, like, at the end of dinner, she'll just look to Vanelli. Okay, we gotta get this big guy out. Oh god, he's asleep.
Drew?
You okay?
No, that was him snoring.
Middy's.
Oh,
That's how you snore when one nostril's plugged with cornbread.
I was gonna say, that sounded like the girthiest fucking burp in existence.
I have never heard a burp be described as girthy before.
Surprisingly, it fits though.
It is an apt description.
Minnie does strike me as the kind of person that would just let out a belch in their sleep.
Accurate.
I'm fucking choking now.
So you guys turn in for a long rest unless there's any last minute things you'd like to accomplish, but
My health is back.
yeah, you guys can restore your health, restore your resources, that sort of thing. You guys can get started on heading out of the city first thing in the morning. In the meantime, why don't we take a 5 or so minute break and we'll be back in a few.
Take a short rest while we wait.